You guys, welcome back. It's been a while, but I have to be honest with you guys. When you're in a healing place, it takes so much out of you that you really have to ball down and literally focus on self, right? So I just want you guys to kind of know that that's where I've been. That's the place I've been in. I've just been really just healing self and just trying to make sure that I am mentally, spiritually, and physically good. Another thing too, also been physically not feeling well. So the enemy is trying to put your girl down, but it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. Um, it's just not gonna happen. So, but while we're here, right? Are you physically being attacked? Are you spiritually being attacked? Do you feel like the devil is just like all up in your space, evading every little bits of you? Do you feel like you can never get a break? Do you feel like you under attack spiritually, where you are being tied down by depression? Do you feel like you are in a mental space of committing suicide? First off, if you are in a place of committing suicide, please reach out for help. Please do not go through this alone. You are not alone, and we'll get to that later on down the video. So just know that you are not alone, and know that the attack on your life is much greater than what you think. So let's go ahead and get into it, guys, and let's tap into why are you being so attacked. One thing that I know for sure is that when you are being attacked, when you are feeling depressed, when you are feeling like there's no one on your side, there's no one that you are able to open up to, that you're feeling depressed and down and out, and that you are on the verge of committing suicide. For some of those, some of you guys who are watching this video, you may not be on that verge of just actually, just taking your life. But if you are anywhere close to that, if you feel like no one understands you, if you feel like that the purpose that you're trying to reach, or the goals that you're trying to reach, that no matter what happens, that you still continuously get knocked down, or just the attack on your life, no matter where you look, no matter where you go, something always is happening, right? And it's just like, you're doing so good, I'm doing so good, like not so good, but like I am trying to go the right path, I am trying to do this, I've stopped doing this, I've stopped doing that, I'm trying to go and follow the narrow path, but every time it's something always comes and tries to knock me down. Why is that, right? Just know that the devil, the enemy, there's other people out there, other entities that know exactly who you are before you even know who you are or what you carry, right? So if you don't even know or identify what you carry, it is so easy for the enemy to come in and attack your life, right? So for those who are feeling alone, like no one understands, just know that you are not alone, right? No one comes into this world alone. Everyone is born with a spirit, with a guide or guardian angel. Everyone has it. Even though you don't see it, doesn't mean that they're not there. Some people come with two, depending on how much you got going on with your life. But some people come with two. So, it just depends. And just know that you're never alone, and your spirit guides are there waiting for you to move on your behalf, right? God didn't just bring you into this world by yourself. He got you someone that will be able to help you and help guide you, right? Why the attack is so strong in your life is because you're doing something with your life. It's because the enemy is trying to stop you from elevating to where he knows that you can be, right? He knows the anointing on your life. Even though you're not where you think that you are supposed to be at this moment, the enemy knows where you're going to be. The enemy knows that if he does not interrupt you right now, right? If he does not interrupt you right now, if he doesn't throw fear in your way, if he doesn't throw doubt in your way, if he does not throw I am not good enough in your way, he knows that you can still continuously elevate to where God wants you to be. And if you elevate that high, guess what? You are messing up his plans. You are messing up the enemy's plans, right? So know that when you are being attacked left and right, left and right, left and right, you have to be mindful that the attack on your life is because you're doing something great, or you are greater than what you are in the physical and what you see in this moment. Even when you're dealing with love, when you feel like you can't find love, or even if you're in a marriage and you feel like your marriage is just not going the way it needs to be. I mean, we can go on and on and on of why things are attacking you and why they are, right? But we have to also check self, because it always comes back to self, right? What are you putting out there to the universe? What are you putting out there to God? What are you telling yourself each and every day? Are you telling yourself you're not good enough? Are you walking in fear? Are you constantly thinking of the things that are not good for you? Right? So if you're putting these things out, it's a reflection to come back to you, right? So if you're putting these things out that you're not good enough, if you're saying that I can never amount to this, if you're looking at someone else's success and it's making you feel lower than what you need to be, then you need to self-reflect on yourself, right? And figure out, what is it that I need to shut off? Sometimes we need to shut off social media. Sometimes we need to shut off people that surround us. Sometimes we need to shut off people that are inflicting fear upon our lives, right? You always have somebody who's like, girl, I don't know about that. I don't think you should do that, girl, because her last time somebody done did this and this is what happened to them. Those are the people you do not need to be surrounded by, because they're not helping you elevate to your highest good, right? So another thing too, like, you want to also make sure that when you are, for instance, depression, when you are dealing with depression and things of that nature, you want to make sure that you are, what would identify what is making you go into that low vibration, right? What is making you go into that? What is in your mind? What are you thinking about yourself, right? And if you check out my last video or video before that, it speaks about how the devil creeps in and he attacks you, mentally, makes you feel like you're not good enough, you're not sexy enough, you're not physically attractive enough, that you can't even live up to some of the things that you see out there. You know what I mean? When you are really greater and bigger than what you tell yourself in your mind, right? Another thing too, what are you surrendering? What are you? Sometimes you have to surrender to self, and when I say surrender to self, sometimes you have to die to self, right? Your old ways of doing, right? If the devil is attacking you and you are just constantly going into this cycle, what are you doing to get out of that cycle, right? What are you doing are you surrendering to old ways of doing, right? If you're trying to elevate, you got to understand that when you're trying to go somewhere, it's a sacrifice, right? That you have to sacrifice, and you have to sacrifice the old you, the old way of you, the old way of you thinking, the old way of you being, right? The old way of you is not always, the old way of you cannot handle where God is trying to take you, right? So we have to know that when we are trying to go somewhere in our lives and the enemy is continuously attacking us, we have to first look at self, right? Because it's what we tell ourselves. It's what we tell ourselves is what we're going to put out there, and is what's going to elevate us. If the attack on your life is just marriage, if you're going through marriage issues and things of that nature, what are you looking for in your marriage? What is attacking you in your marriage or in your relationship? Are you constantly in arguments? Are you constantly fighting each other? I truly believe that sometimes our marriages are a reflection of ourselves. And if we don't deal with self, we're going to be fighting with ourselves, because God is going to expose you through someone else until you deal with what you need to deal with inside of you, right? Sometimes we look for other people to fill our own cup of love. Sometimes we look for people to satisfy us when we can't really satisfy ourselves, right? So we can't look for other people to satisfy us if we can't do that for ourselves. Sometimes we have to learn how to love ourselves with flaws and all, right? Know that you're greater, because this is just physical, right? You are a spiritual being having a physical experience, a human experience, right? You're greater. And for some reason, we fail to remind ourselves that we are greater than the flesh. The devil knows you're greater than the flesh, but sometimes we don't know what we carry within inside of us, right? So when you lack the knowledge, when you lack the power of knowing what you carry inside of us, inside of yourself, the devil can easily come in. He can come in and creep up and feed off of that, right? He feeds off the fear, the doubt, the depression, right? The devil knows that you are way greater than what you see yourself. And if he allows you to see that, then you won. And he can't have that, right? So we have to speak it. Speak life into us, to ourselves. Don't wait until someone else speak life into us. You have the power to speak life within you. You have the power to manifest anything you want over your life. You have the power. God gave you that power, that right. God didn't bring you on this earth to be powerless. He didn't bring you on this earth to be like, poor me, and I'm not trying to be right? But we have to know that if we're going to be coming out here trying to fight a spiritual battle, we can't operate in the flesh, right? We have to have dominion and power over the enemy, because he knows what you're capable of. He knows what you are capable of healing, what you are capable of transforming into. He knows it. And so the devil is going to come in and he's going to feed your mind. Oh, he's going to feed you up. He's going to feed you up so strong, where you're going to find yourself in the bed every day. You're going to find yourself doing everything that you couldn't, that you're going to find yourself doing things that you didn't want to do. You wanted to work out, guess what? You never worked out. You end up being in the bed all day. You wanted to get away from this addiction, and guess what? He still continuously brings friends around you that smokes, that drinks, right? Right? But what are you doing? What are you surrendering to? What are you sacrificing? Right? What are you sacrificing to get to the next level? Because we all know that the devil don't care about no tears. He feeds off of it. He feeds off of it. And it doesn't mean that God don't hear you, because your spirit guides, all you have to do is speak with them. You're never alone. And all your spirit guides is doing is just, I'm here. Let me know what you want me to do. Speak to them. Right? They're going to go off of your command. There's somebody right now that's probably dealing with an addiction, right? I can't get away from it. You can't even get away from it. Some people still got friends around them, still bringing it around them, right? Right. And I don't want to let them go because they're my homies. And I've been with them since, we've been rocking since it's like, but what is more important? Your walk with Christ or your friends? We can't hold our friends. We can't count our friends. We can't count on our friends to hold us accountable when they can't even hold themselves accountable. Right? You want to get out of the place of this stronghold that's on you. The devil is riding your back, and you wonder why. Because it's something in you that's screaming to get out. Sometimes we have to let friends that is not of our highest good, that is not allowing us to elevate, sometimes we have to let them go and allow God to take the wheel and allow the universe to take its course, right? Because God didn't stop making friends after they made them. And if your friends are true friends, then they will respect the fact that you're trying to elevate bigger and better. Right? Are you removing yourself? Or are you like, man, they're my homies, man, I can't let them go, like they my homies? That's what you're going to tell God? Because God don't want to hear like they my homies. God want to see you. But even if it's just the slightest move, even if it's just disconnecting yourself, right? He's going to move on your behalf. You have to know, you have to be able and be willing to surrender and sacrifice. Because as long as you get into that, as long as you stay in that mindset, he's going to continuously bring friends around. And he's going to continuously give you a reason to do that addiction. Oh, they made me mad, so, oh, I'm stressing these bills. Right? Identify what is making you go to that. Right? We want to make sure that we're just not trying to keep, because if you just stop smoking, drinking, doing whatever, watching porn, whatever it is, whatever your addiction is, whatever you're overindulging in, ask yourself what is taking you to that. Because you can stop all day, but if you're not identifying what is keeping you going to that, you're going to continuously have a fight of your life. Because you're not identifying or surrendering to or transforming or dying to what is keeping you from going that way. Right? Some of these women out here, some of y'all look at y'all bodies and disgusted. Right? Some of y'all look at y'all bodies and think like, man, and compare yourself. You compare yourself, right? You compare yourself to what you see on social media. You compare your life, right? And if your life don't add up to them, if your body don't look like theirs, you begin to mentally bring yourself down. And these are the things that we're trying to stay away from, right? Because it starts with you. It starts with loving you. Love yourself, right? Because if God is within you and you love God, then you should love yourself. Don't wait till somebody give you a compliment in order for you to feel good about yourself. Don't wait till somebody else fill your cup of love up or to boost your ego. You don't need that. That's unhealthy. Learn how to love self. And that's identifying. Sometimes loving self is identifying what is broken. Sometimes loving self is taking time out to heal, right? Heal what has been broken. Heal the pains and the wounds that allow us to act in a way that we really don't even want to act. You're dealing with things at school, you're dealing with things at church, you're dealing with people around you, surrounding you, family. It makes you feel lower than what you need to be. You don't feel like no one's hearing you. Right? But it goes back to, are you hearing yourself? Are you identifying the God within you? Because if the enemy can identify the God within you, it's a wrap if you don't identify the God that's within you. Right? Healing yourself from the pain, from the trauma. Right? The devil, he's so quick. He's so quick to bring up your past. He's quick to bring up what has hurt you. He's so quick to bring up what you are less than, right? That is going to put you in a form of depression. The devil will do that, right? And he will make you feel as low as the ants and the insects on the ground. And we feed into that and we give into it, not knowing that that's the devil creeping in here. And once he creeps inside, now he's affecting your spirit, man. Right? What are you feeding your spirit, man? Right? What are you feeding yourself? What are you killing your doubts with? Are you feeding your faith? You are a powerful spiritual being. You're not a human. You're having a human experience on this earth, right? You are a spiritual being, right? You can do beyond what you think you can do. And you're not alone. Everybody is born with a spirit guide. Everybody is born with an angel right there waiting to work on their behalf. But the world, they'll make you feel like you're nothing, right? We see these posts, these ads, these social medias. They even bring up your past, even on Facebook, to show you you had it back then. Now look at you. What are you feeding into, right? What are you telling yourself every day? Identify what you tell yourself every day. How much time do you spend with yourself a day? Are you surrounded with people every day, every hour? How much time do you take to isolate yourself and have that time with God or with yourself? You can't expect someone to love you and to treat you the way you want to be treated if you're not doing it to yourself. You first have to give it to yourself before anyone else can give it to you. Loving yourself is deeper. It's deeper than buying things for yourself. It's deeper than a spa, right? It's deeper. You have to dig deep within your spirit, man, to pull out and expose a lot of things that you would never even thought of exposing. But sometimes we have to dig out of these things in order to heal ourselves. Healing is just not an overnight thing. Healing takes time. Healing is going to break you. Healing is going to give you some wounds, honey. Healing, right? What's that song say by, I think her name is Alyssa. It says, I can't think of it. She says, the growing pains, right? She says, no band-aids for the growing pains. And I was just like, whoa, 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 whoa. When you're growing, the growing pains, when you made that commitment to surrender to your old ways of thinking, your old ways of doing, when you decide to leave that baggage and not dig back in it, when you make the decision to leave that trash exactly where it's at, and you don't open that bag up and you wait, and when you decide that that trash bag is not going to sit at your front porch, but it's going to go in the dumpster so it can be thrown away permanently. When you make that decision, it's going to be the hardest decision. It's going to be the hardest. I wasn't going to say it's going to be the hardest thing because I didn't want y'all to scare y'all away, but I'm going to be real. It's a journey. It's not an overnight success, right? It didn't take you overnight to get where you were, to where you are. It took you years to build up the disappointment, the doubts, the things that people have thrown at you, the rocks they've thrown at you, the words they've thrown at you, right? And throughout that journey, you have allowed that to stick to you, right? And in this growing journey, you have the opportunity to peel off and to throw away what you allowed to stay with you throughout these years, right? And it's not, like I said, it's not an overnight success, but know that you are not alone. You have ancestors, you have spirit guides that want to see you go greater than where you are. Yeah, you can start that business. You can be a motivational speaker. You can be whatever you want. You want to be that choreographer? You can. You want to elevate with God? You can. You want to get out of depression? You can. Know you can. Know that God will never leave you nor forsake you. He won't. So don't ever leave yourself or forsake yourself. God will never leave you. So know that. Know that you are greater. Know that you come with a beastie package. God loves you. Right? We hear it all the time. God loves you. God loves you. I'm highly blessed and favored. No. Right? And I'm a big advocate of, I don't like to walk around like I've been through things. You know, a lot of people, I've heard this controversy at church a lot, and it says like, oh, they got these girls walking around in here like they all that and they ain't never been through nothing. And then you got the others, and then they'll backdoor and say, you know, you got to speak to that thing. You can walk in faith like you ain't never been through nothing. I chose to walk like the devil has never touched me. I choose to think and to believe that the devil has not won. Right? I made up in my mind to make a sacrifice and to surrender to my old ways of thinking, my old ways of doing. What are you surrendering to? What are you throwing away and not picking back up? Right? What are you doing? I know I'm a little preachy today, but I just hate to see we're so powerful and God did not birth us powerless. And I hate to see us walk as if we have nothing, as if we're powerless, as we're depressed. You're gonna have haters everywhere you go. People are gonna talk about you. People done talked about me so much. I should be click here with it, but I'm not. I should be. A lot of people don't support Ross. A lot of people don't even understand me. A lot of people don't even want to get to know me. You know, I've felt like I've been misunderstood a lot. It doesn't stop, right? It's a part of the process. It's a part of the process. My journey, right? If I stopped when someone talked about me, if I stopped what I was doing for God because someone didn't like it, or someone didn't like who I am, or how I dressed, or how I talked, or how I wore my hair, if I stopped and shut down for them, I'm failing God's plan. Not only that, I'm not reaching my purpose. I have a mission on this earth. And I'd be damned if I let somebody stop me. I'd be damned if I let somebody get in my head and make me feel less than. God has showed me who I am. God has told me who I am. I've not always known who I am. A lot of people knew me back in the day, probably don't even realize probably don't even recognize who I am now. But it's okay, because God is going to align me up with where I need to be, as long as I'm continuously surrendering to my old ways and not digging back in the trash for the things that I need. Know that you are enough. Know that you are good enough. Know that you are a beautiful human being. Right? A spiritual being. One thing I'm going to leave you guys with this, and I want you guys just know that you're good enough. Right? The devil gonna get you. The devil's gonna try. He's gonna try. It wouldn't be the devil if he didn't try, right? But now it's like, it's gonna be either you or him. You have something strong over your life, right? And he sees it. And he's going to stop you from doing exactly what you're called to do. And I'm here to encourage you to don't allow the devil to stop where you are supposed to be. Don't allow the devil, right? To come and speak over your life. Don't allow the devil to dictate your next move. You are greater. And you have to know that you are greater. That God that lives within you, love that. Love that. Look in the mirror and love yourself. No matter what you look like, love yourself. That's how you're going to attract that love back to you. All right, so it's kind of long. But I love you guys. And I pray that this helps someone. I was kind of all over the place. I get kind of like, kind of emotional, or not emotional, but I get very passionate whenever I speak about people identifying who they are. I want you to know who you are. And depression and fear and doubt and you being not good enough has no dominion over you. Just know that you are loved and God is love. Right? So the next time the negative thought come in, you should go pray and meditate. Speak to it. Declare over it. Do something different than what you used to do. And watch God work. Bye. I love you guys. I'm going to talk forever. I'm already 32 minutes in, about to be 33. So I love you guys. And yeah, if you ever need someone to talk to or to reach out to pray with, I'm always here. But know that you are good enough and you are loved and you are beautiful. And God did not create you for nothing. So bye. I love you. Peace.